In today's video, we're going to make some homemade peanut brittle. I'm actually making a double batch, but the recipe can be cut down in half if need to be. So I'm going to start off with 4 cups of granulated sugar, 4 to 5 cups of raw peanuts, and if you're getting them in these 16-ounce bags, you'll get 3 cups out of it. If you're going to make a single batch, go ahead and use all 3 cups if you want to, but you'll be spreading the sugar really thin if you put much more than that. Then I'm going to use 2 cups of light corn syrup, 3 teaspoons of baking soda, and make sure that it doesn't have any lumps in it. If you've seen some of my other videos, you'll see that I've taken just used a spoon, measuring spoon, to make sure there's no lumps. Then I'm going to have 1 stick of butter, or half a cup, and this is unsweetened butter. Then I'm going to add to that 1 cup of water. And depending on who I'm making this for, I make it 3 different ways. I make it with that recipe, or I add a tablespoon and a half of cinnamon, or I add a table and a half cayenne pepper. This particular batch is going to be going to the Air Force in Albuquerque, New Mexico, and they like it with the cayenne pepper, so I will be adding a tablespoon of cayenne pepper at the end. Alright, we're going to cook this on medium-low. Get your flame down low, but we don't want it too low because if it cooks too long, it actually browns it really dark. So we're going to cook it on medium-low. We got 1 cup of water, 4 cups of granulated sugar, 1 stick of butter. And some people will tell you that you should coat the inside of your pan with the butter before you start. I have found it doesn't matter. Then we're going to go with 2 cups of the light corn syrup. Alright, so the next thing we're going to need, make sure we have, is a candy thermometer. You can cook it the way Grandma used to do it, where you drop the sugar in water and stuff like that, but I find cooking it with the candy thermometer works so much better. Make sure that you have a deep pot when you're doing this, or pan when you're doing this, because the sugar will start to rise as it cooks, and then it will go back down. While that is cooking, I'm going to prepare my cookie sheets. I take cookie sheets and put some butter flavored non-stick spray on it, or you can use butter if you want, but this works pretty good. For this double batch, you will want to make sure that you have 2 or 3 cookie sheets. It depends on how thick you want the peanut brittle. I like to make some of it thin and some of it thick, so I'm going to have plenty of space to do both. As you can see, I'm cooking this on medium to medium-low. See, it's boiling up quite nicely. That's the reason why I say use a large pan, is because I've already used over half the capacity of this pan with just the sugar boiling up. It's reached the boiling point, and now the sugar is starting to go back down. You can tell in the pan where it made it up to about halfway up this pan before it started going back down. This process of bringing it up to temperature should take you about 20 minutes or so. As you can see, it's caramelizing pretty good. There's 2 things I've done while I was waiting on that. First off is I mix the cayenne pepper with the baking soda, and the second thing is I put on a Teflon glove, heat resistant glove, because I'm going to be holding that pan here in a minute. And then I'm switching to a heavy spoon as well. We won't need this candy thermometer for a few minutes. We're going to take the peanuts, raw peanuts, dump them in. Here's where the glove comes in at. Give it a good stir, make sure it's really coated good. And during this time you need to stir it regularly. If you don't, the peanuts will actually start to scorch on the bottom. We're going to bring this back up to 295 degrees before we add the baking soda and the cayenne pepper. Alright, we've reached the temperature. Now I'm just going to mix in the baking soda and the chili powder, and it will start to foam up as I mix it. Here's where the glove comes in. You can see that it's fluffed up some. So we're going to take and we're going to pour some into each pan. If you like it thick, just don't spread it out as much, and I'll show you here in just a second how I spread it out. Once again, whatever you do, don't be tempted to taste this at this point. Alright, so if you like it thick, it's okay. If you don't like it thick, just kind of shake it around just a little, and it will thin it out some. This batch right here is going to be pretty thin, and a lot of people like it thin, but I'm going to spread it out just a little more than that. That's where that butter comes in, that spray-on stuff that we put on a while ago, the non-stick, works really good for spreading this out. This one's pretty thin. I'm still going to spread it out a little. Okay, this will take about 45 minutes to cool down, and if you don't let it cool down, it will make it hard to break into smaller pieces. If you need to quick set it, or you're in a hurry and really want to dive into eating it, there is a way that you can speed up the process. You can actually take and put it in the freezer for about 10 minutes and bring it back out, and it'll break up really easy. One of the best ways to tell if it's cool enough, it's still stuck to the pan. Twist your pan, it pops loose. It's now cool enough to break open, break into little pieces. You're thinking, wow, this is going to take me forever to clean. But here's a little tip. If you run straight hot water in it and let it sit for about 5 minutes, you won't have any problem.